Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing some of the books that I've read in the past week. The first one we're going to talk about is Where the Crawdad Sing by Delilah Owens. This is probably the most popular mainstream book in my area of the world in the last couple years. The holds on this in the library system, it was just ridiculous for the last 2 years or so. I finally read it. I listened to the audiobook and I also read it in physical form. One of the few books that I've read uh, completely in only one day's time. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought the character of Kaya, living in the swamps of North Carolina all by herself, basically growing up by herself and teaching herself and educating herself, was phenomenal. I thought that was very good. A little bit, I don't know, I didn't really believe it so much that she could do all these things by herself, but it was still really great. There's a murder mystery aspect in the book, but that really takes second stage to the character of Kaya and her growing up in this world. And I really liked what the book said about loneliness and being with people and having really self-reliance. Kaya was so self-reliant. She didn't really need anybody, but in the end, she wanted to share her life with someone, and I thought that was really good. So I read a short story by Martha Wells. I got this when I pre-ordered Network Effect. So when Network Effect was released, I got this in my email. I read it. I have no thoughts on it whatsoever. I didn't get it. It really read like something that she cut out of one of her books. It was odd. Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. I finally got on the Expanse train, and this epic, sprawling science fiction space opera is something that I'm going to enjoy. Great characters, a team of characters that are on a specific ship, and then there's a bunch of side characters to kind of give this overall view and plot line and storyline. Holden and Alex, Amos, Naomi, great characters. I'm looking really forward to the rest of the books in this series, and I would recommend it to anyone that hasn't read it yet, and enjoys space opera. So The Butcher of Anderson Station is a short story about Fred, the leader of the OPA, which is basically like a Hezbollah type organization, and what happened to him at Anderson Station when he was in the military. It was okay. You really don't need to read this, but if you like Fred's character, get a good background with him. So Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. I read this back in November of 2018. Yes, I looked that up. So I reread it because I wanted to read Shortfall, the sequel, soon, which I'm going to be doing this coming week. And I didn't remember anything hardly from this book. A lot of the details I wanted to be fresh in my mind when I start Shortfall, so that's why I reread it. And Foundry Side is an epic fantasy story that reminds me a lot of Mistborn. And it's one of those stories that has almost perfect pacing. The action and tension ramps up at an even rate throughout the entire book, and there's no real dip in the story for me. And I enjoyed the reread. I thought it was a good reread. And then finally, I read Trader's Moon by Lynn Fuelling. This is the third book in the Night Runners series. This one has Alex and Serigal visiting Serigal's homeland, the Oren Fey land. I think it's called Orenin. And a lot of this book is looking at the culture of the Orenins and the royalty slash government that is set up there, and there is kind of like a court intrigue plot with this. I thought this was a step down from the second book, Stalking Darkness. This one is much slower, and it has a lot more to do with subtlety and politics and things of that nature. I don't have any more of these books, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to continue. I'm going to have to read a lot of other books before I probably will continue this series, but it's not a bad series. I've enjoyed it, and I probably will eventually, but there's so many other books out there that I might want to try, and Traitor's Moon was just kind of a little bit of a letdown. So that is basically what I've read in the last week. Let me know what you've read. If you've read any of these, let me know your thoughts on them. Also, if you have any tips or advice for me as far as my channel, I will gladly take that. I've been seeing next to no growth in my channel. In fact, I've seen a lot of negative growth over the last year. And also, I've seen my views go way down and my comments go way down as well. I know I probably should be putting in more effort, probably. So if you have any recommendations for me on what type of content you would like to see, or maybe I'm doing something grossly wrong, let me know, and that would be greatly appreciated. I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.